Hello, everyone. Is this live? And yes, we have a very interesting person with me right now. I would like to confirm if we are audible and you can see us moving. Yes, Nishita, is we are audible and our videos are good. Yes, I think so. We can start. Namaste and
Yes.
welcome to WEDO. WEDO is Women's Entrepreneurship Development Organization founded by Mrs. Kadambari Umapati in the year of 2015 to financially empower women through entrepreneurship. WeDo is a platform where we focus on developing business through contacts, networking, and collaboration. We believe in empowering women entrepreneurs by providing required training, programs, e learning platforms, and business consulting. Today, WeDo has its presence in six cities: Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Coimbatore, and Pune, and we are growing. We are very happy to host and to welcome our guest, Manashweta. She is a creative life coach, founder and CEO of FPITA, that is her brand. Instead of elaborating what she is and what her brand is, let's directly get jump to our guest and ask what is the meaning of your brand and what is creative life coach.
Hi, Swati. Thank you so much. It was a very warm welcome. So, yes, my company is FTAPE. FTAPE is Happy in Me. So, everybody wants to be happy in life. So, what we provide is creative life coaching. So, we are into a company where we will be working in day to day life with individual, with groups, one on one. Also, we do with a lot of people in a creative way.
Can you elaborate when you say in a creative way? Because we have heard a lot of coach when they talk about sales, they talk about marketing, they talk about management, talk about uh, the goals how to create. What is the creative things that is added to your brand, and what is different that you're giving from others in the market?
Life coaching is that we are making sure that all your five senses are involved during the process of every workshop. So we make sure that your sense of sight, your sense of touch, sense of hearing, your sense of tactile, everything is involved during the workshop. So the best thing of the creative life coaching is that when all the senses are involved, the output is 100%. That is what we do. And everybody in the life, we are creative. So what we do is we enhance your creativity on your day-to-day activities. Say from decluttering your space that you live in and adding in a very nice vase on your table. That is also a creative living. So we will make sure that there is some creative process in your life when you do planning for your entrepreneurship journey or when you plan a startup business. You always have some mind sketches. So what we do is we put them, organize them, guide you to lead them to understand where you are right now and how you are going to move forward and have you reached it or achieved it after the period of time. You track it in a creative way, in the creative journey, in that you will be maintaining a creative journal too.
Okay, this is amazing to hear what the creative word has added to the profile and me. Being a host today, we will be deep diving this creative coach and understanding more about how we can take this in our careers, how a woman entrepreneur, even a child, can take an advantage of such a beautiful concept in a market, what are its profits, and how we can move on. So this is Swati Mudiganti, director of Chashmi Styles Private Limited, and also the president of WEDO Pune, deep diving into Manasweta, the creative life coach. Now let's start one thing. Whenever we ask someone and we encounter something different from what people are doing, like you are a creative life coach, I personally want to understand, how did you land being a creative life coach? Like, we don't see like this is something, a different option to be opt as a profession. And how did you get to know that this is it that you want to do, and what was your journey to get this as your profession?
Thank you for adding that question during the interview. So, when you say creativity, okay, so it starts from our childhood. So you see, when you look at something, what happens? You have a pictorial representation of what you see, and when somebody is asking you to draw that, immediately you connect to what you have observed just now, right? So that is how our pictorial representation or our photographic memory works. So we add into it. So the reason why I developed this as a niche and is only that this is a luxury. FTP is a luxury. Getting associated with FTP is a luxury. So it's a complete mind wellness. So it is not only a mental wellness, it's a completely your mind, body, and soul gets associated. When your thoughts are clear, when you know what you do, when you know what you're going to do, you're perfect. So when you're mentally clear, automatically your body will start supporting for it. So that's when creativity comes into picture. So when you are associating yourself with all these five senses and you're associating yourself with the creativity, what you're doing in everyday life, then the productivity will always increase. So that's the best thing about it. And why FTP? FTP is always giving you a luxurious thought. So mind wellness or mental wellness is no more a taboo here. We can end up being in a very creative way of enhancing our thoughts, enhancing our productivity, enhancing even a small challenges that we take care in our life in a very nice, beautiful, creative manner.
This is amazing to hear.
And
I I would really like to know, when in this world people are more like, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a doctor, and I want to get into a proper system where I can earn. How did you come up with the idea, like, I want to be a creative life coach?
yes, I started my career as an educator and a trainer. So, being an educator and trainer, you see, you are going to see people in and out. You see the people's mind. You see the young children's mind. And you also connect with your colleagues where they are adults. So, you see, they are facing a lot of challenges on a day to day life. So that's when I started inculcating few of the very quick session workshops during the session in my teaching learning program. So that helped them to enhance their productivity. I could literally visually see that, and also the students and the teachers were also visually see the progress that is happening in their life. So that is when I have understood that there is a need for life coaching, and it's just not a normal life coaching that is required. So I took that niche, and it is in India. I'm the first creative life coach who's accessible for all the walks of life. Say you are a person who is a startup business person, or you are an entrepreneur who is already running a business, or you are a student, or you are a just child of 7 years old, or you are into a college. So whichever walks of life, I come into your picture. So as FTP is a luxury, you associate yourself with FTP, you have a creative mental development with us. And when you are mentally prepared, when you are ready to face anything very creatively, you are prepared even from your bodily level also. Whatever comes on your way, you are already prepared to face it in a very happy, creative way.
This is amazing to hear that you are the first creative coach, and I'm really glad that I have been a host to you, and I am in asking so many questions to the first creative life coach in India. It's really amazing. I would love to know, even our people, those who are watching, would love to know life coaching for kids and life coaching for a teenager or a person who is in adulthood. What are the differences, or what type of services you give when it comes to these three phases, and how are we going to measure the success or the process or the progress which you point that this has to be gained?
That's very nice. So when it comes to the different walks of life, we call it as a life cycle, right? We start from our childhood. So when we start, remember the time we have just picked up a pencil or a crayon or just any small things that can be written. We start writing it, we start scribbling. The creative life coaching starts from there. So the scribbling itself is a process of getting connected with your mind. You get literally very happy when you scribble, even now at whatever age it is. But now as you grow up, what happens? You feel scribbling is imperfection. Yes, so we have to understand scribbling is a way of expressing yourself in an imperfect way, and it's okay to be imperfect. And everything starts with an imperfection, slowly graduate itself to become a perfection. So, as you know, when we are young, till primary school, we were allowed to use pencils. You would have noticed that. And an eraser will be also provided to us, right? So it means it's okay to make mistakes. You can erase it and also you can rewrite it in the best form. But as you graduate from primary school to middle school, there is a transformation happening even in the material that you use it for writing, that you transform it to a pen, right? Which means it is expected from the society that you are expected to make less errors. Okay, but again,
Exactly.
now we are very advanced. We even have lot of resources created for ourselves to even erase what is there written on the pen. So we are accepting the negative in us even during the middle school level, high school level, and so on. And now the best thing as we grow up to be a college person, as a teenager, we make voice messages over phone. Yes, and we make some emojis, we add it. It is all a part of creative process in our life. So very, very easy way to communicate. I'm happy, Swati, is just by adding a smiley. Yes, I am very excited, Swati, to just by adding an emoji that connects to the image, or that is, or just by sending a voice text. Even a voice text give you the differentiation of how we talk. Yes, so everything is observed. So your emotions are noted. It's okay to have all the emotions, but the duration of the emotion has to be controlled. That is what we help them to work in their way. It's okay to think, but start jotting it down and start working ahead. Instead of just jotting it down and making it a profile for yourself. Let's start getting into work. So by the time there is a lot of pressure when it comes to the teenage and when you start working, and again, a lot of perfection is expected from the society, from your own environment, and especially you will start driving in yourself. I should be perfect. I should be perfect all the time. But again, as I already said, everything starts only from imperfection. But are you able to accept the imperfection in you and start driving towards the perfection? So we come in there. We guide you to how to work it ahead. And when you start employing yourself, what happens? You are having a lot of data. Emails can be drafted, deleted, can be put it in the draft, and later you can rework on it. So again, everything it's not only the pen, pencil, we also guide you through the current technology that is being used in your day-to-day life. How do you process it? How do you save it? How it's accessible for you? So you are a person who is always gadget friendly. And in that, how are you going to bring in the creativity? So let's add little bit of pen and paper in your work schedule and also use the technology which is already observed. Perfect, right? So it's a balance between how we do it. And especially we are connecting all the senses. So we use all the senses possible. So I am at a desk right now. So what I see, what are the tactile things that I added is I see a visual representation of a flower or a bouquet near my place. I make sure there is some scented candles or something that scents very nice. I play music in my room, a very light music which is even when I work it doesn't disturb me. And I have a pen and paper to jot down in a very creative way. I doodle, I write, I scribble. It's okay. It's my personal treasure. So all of these are added into your life every day, and as you know, the book will be for that you will start every day. You progress. You see what kind of progression you make. You start from the scribbling on the day one of your thoughts, and you see that you always start organizing them, and not only that, you start implementing them in your life. So when you start implementing them, you start acknowledging yourself. And yes, when you acknowledge, there are two types of things: acknowledging for good, acknowledging for bad. So, whatever you've done which has become a failure is your experience. And what is going to be a person is going to be adding a feather on your cap for your process that's happening. But again, staying subtle and staying very, very calm. So you would have seen recently we have the Prag winning the title, right? So he has actually Magnus. He has really worked with Magnus. He has won, but you saw him. He's very calm. He's very composed. So that is how the mental state that we want to bring in the creative process. So when we had an interview with Prag in the association with a few of the people, he told we have to be making sure. So I do practice 8 hours of chess on a regular basis, but I give some time for my physical fitness where I go to gym, and I also practice some time for my mental fitness too. So you see, all the legends who are called ourselves as a successful personality, they do spare some time for their mental health also. So FTP is the luxury mental health services that we provided. It's the best coaching that you can really take it up in a very fun and creative way.
I heard you talk about something which you add in your service, that is the scrapbook or the book which you talk. We would love to know what is that addition that you give to your customers and your clients.
Yes. So we call it as a scrapbook, which could be called as a creative journal. So creative journal is something that you can add on whatever we have it in our mind. It could be in the form of bulletins. It could be in the form of a few task masters, where you give some time for your personal growth, your professional growth, your mental growth, and the few habits you want to inculcate in yourself. So you are a person who loves to chew your nails, but you are a person who always move out, meet people, and you feel that extension is not always helping you, but you have to inculcate that habit for sure, so that you can grow a little bit of your own personal, your own called as thing, so that you will be really experiencing it better when you move out. It's a task. For a person who always choose the names, it's a task. So we build in that creativity. So you always draw your fingers, hands on your creative journal. Every time you even note, you observe the growth of your nails that is growing in your body, and you acknowledge it yourself. So, and you, once it has grown, you started creatively adding some things to it. If you are a female, right? If you are a male, how do you keep that length on a regular basis? How do you trim your nails on a regular basis? So that is adding up to your life, because you have been literally loving chewing all the time. So it's some new habit that you are inculcating. So how is the progress that's happening in you? That is a very, very great thing that I have recently achieved with one of my clients. So, and the client is always the person who moves around with the people, who visits the people on a regular basis. So, this was something that she wants to develop, and the tracker and the creative journal. So, we keep it a 21-day journal. So, it's very easy to access. So, we start
It's
with
for
every
everyone.
week.
This 21 journey is for kids, teenager, adults, like entrepreneurs. For everyone, it is 21 days.
Yes, it's for everybody who comes into the FWA life coaching scenario. So we categorize them into three weeks so totally. So 3 weeks will be the progress that you see in your life. So the last week will be upgrading yourself to find out what is the new habit that you want to inculcate. So you would have already mastered something that you have habituated for a long time. You have literally taken out from your life, and you have added something very creative and added something very new. And by the end of your third week, you are already ready. By the 21st day, you are already ready with something, a new habit that you want to inculcate. It could be anything that you think about. Let me start thinking only positive. That's a very big habit everybody wants to inculcate.
Manasweta, there's some disturbance in connection. Just a minute, some technical issues. Yes,
Thank you.
we
I
just
think we
missed
lost.
out some.
I think we are back. Good to go.
Good to go?
Yes.
Yes. So the scrapbook which you were talking about, it sounds very interesting, and it clubs and the memory which every kid has. Like every kid has that small scrapbook, always carrying it with them. Even if not the scrapbook, the last page of every book is a scrapbook. Like we
That's
are very true writing, scribbling something when we are in lectures, or when we are mentally somewhere else and we are just scribbling it down. So it is really, when you say that the scribbling is just not a scribbling, it is something what is in your mind that you scribble, that you put it on the paper. Exactly, that is the scribble, exactly what we would do in when we were kids. It's like growing up fast, understood the meaning of scribbling right now. Manashweta, I would like to know one more thing. Like when we say it's a life coaching experience you get, if, for example, I'm a student and I aim for something in my profession, like for example, I want to get into IIT, or I want to conquer some competitive exam, and then I want to get to a particular position in my professional life. So is the creative life coaching the service which you provide? How do you take this case scenario to make a, what we say, the roadmap to achieve that goal? Is that 21 days how you can cater, how would a student or a teenager can benefit 21 days to set their goals? Or for example, if I want to become an IIT profession, or I want to conquer some UPSC exams, and I want to set my mind so I reach there, how this 21 days you are going to mark it to that, for that student? We would love to know that.
perfect. So here we go with the timeline. So everybody who walks in, they will have a planning. So we will sit together to understand what is their plan that they are planning. So what to achieve in this week, we write it down. So let's take up three goals that you're planning. So let's see how it is getting processed, progressed on everyday life. And being a person who's an aspirant of, as you say, any competitive examination, a lot of things required is persistency and resilience. So when you call it as a persistency, you will be having a lot of times when you write up a test, for example, a class test or a group test, you end up being the first at one time, and the second moment, next test you see, you end up being somewhere in the middle. But still, you have to be continuously persisting yourself, upgrading yourself from where you are. So it is when you have looked within and approve yourself, accept yourself. Yes, the growth is always good. Might be the first concept is something that you would have already prepared in your younger age, and the second concept something that you are learning it for the first time. Now you cannot compare the first mark, first concept with the second category of the mark with the second concept, because the familiarity is different. So accept that is the familiarity that has allowed, that has not graded you up in this examination. So what you need to do, you need to work it out the topics that you are not prepared with, basically. So you need a mode of familiarity to in that topics. Learn a little more, spend a little more time on that, and scale yourself with a lot of self-assessment. And then you see that every time you going to take up examination in that particular topic, at least a mark ahead you step in. So every mark ahead is going to be stepping in. So it's a basic example that I would rather say that if you take a small ice cube, okay, and you keep it in a temperature of around, you say, around 10 degrees Celsius, you will see not much of the, I mean, say, melting would have happened. So it's a very gradual. So one centigrade will not make a lot of difference. But at one point of time, you see that it will give a gradual melting when you start taking up with 23, 24, 25. By then, you not even see the ice cube there, that will be completely melting. That's how it is. So there will be a slow progress always. So every step, everything is a progress. So when you want to transit yourself from a solid state to a liquid fluid state in your mind, wherein you are able to transform yourself into a little more better person, you always have to take that gradual step. And once you have that nearby, the final moment, by the time you are already ready to take up those examinations, because you had spent that hard time sweating and learning and spending your time and preparing your mind to take up that hardship. So now you are ready. So once you are done, you are done. And again, after that, if you lose or use your win, again you should be able to take it in a learning way only. So you would have seen these days, many times you have seen that many people will give up. So they give up because they feel that there is no next moment without success, right? So a success.
Exactly. The thing you said, that every little thing is a progress. When we are chasing success, like when we are a student, want to chase an exam, want to score right and be at the top notch of our career, we always, the student forgets that every small progress, everything is adding to the success, where even not just students but also parents have to understand this. Like, to all the parents and to all the students, those who are saying, I really want you to take a note of this. The life coach is really telling, she has quite a lot of experience, she has dealt with a lot of case scenarios in her life. And when someone with so much of experience say that every single step, every little progress matter, it's really matter. When we say small things matter, your small steps also matter, your small progress also matter. So this is a very fantastic thought, or the way of thinking. When you change the way of thinking, surely everything is going to line up. So this is an amazing way of thinking which you have given us today, to let us know that small things matter, small steps matter, and small success also matter. Yes, it's
That's
amazing. I would also add to it, would like to know, like, this is more of like, when you sit in front of life coach, you have a lot of things to ask. I would like to know one thing, like, when it comes to people, those who are in working in teams, and when they would know, like, if there is something called team management, leadership thing, being an entrepreneur, when I see my team is not performing to their mark, is there something life coach have to do, or they can mend the situation for any entrepreneur, like male, female, anyone? Or do you have something when we as an entrepreneur get stuck with people or the team which we have? Do you have something
Yeah.
for it?
FFA Creative Life Coaching is rightly for the people who are just building up a team, or there is already a team which is not really performing so good. So what we do is we sit with the team to understand, just listen to them about the challenges and also talk to the team lead who is leading the team. So understanding the different challenges, we give them tasks to help them understand everybody in that particular project is very important. So though you have a simple role to play, but still you are important. Yes, so if you take a full square, right? If you take a small piece from that square also, it is not a square. It's still an incomplete square. So you being a part of a team, you are a part of the team. Whether you are fitting into a very small dot or small circle in that square of a team, or a bigger thing, but you are still a team. Without you, the square is not complete. So when you feel that you're not given importance to it, that your role that is being there, it must be the task that is driving to that person who is doing it. It doesn't mean that you are not important in a team. So your small things, for example, it could be the data handling that you do, it could be the troubleshooting that you do, it could be the organizing work that you do, or you are a person you make sure that your only job is only to maintain the whole team, and you are making sure the files are on place. Is that the job that you do? But everybody in the team has a role to play. So when you feel that you are not given too much of importance, that is when your productivity is going to really low down. That is when creative life coach comes into picture. We will make you to allow you to write down the roles that you play a part as a team, and we will allow you to sit together to appreciate each other. What will happen if you are not there in the team? Yes. So what will happen if you are really not going to support the team? So you are not there in the team is different from what you are not supporting for the team. So every support is very, very important when it comes to team building. And automatically when the team is performing good, you will see the project ending up very good. In turn, you will see the whole turnover of the company is really profitable. And yes, you can add more on add-on courses like what we do as a life coaching to little more in a higher extensive way, so that everybody, every employee is able to understand that their role in the company is very, very important. So there will be very less attrition rate, there is very less sadness in the company, and people will work very happily. And also there is a lot of collaborative and cooperative working that will be imbibing without any different thoughts. It will be a very creative process. You will never know at the end of the day, you will gel with each other like under anything. As you know, you have to understand the ups and downs. Okay, I know this. Okay, boss, you can. I know this. Let's work together. So you don't know this. It's okay. Let's see somebody who knows it. So it's going to be more on the knowledge and the upgradation level a person can have it. It's okay if somebody is slow, but what is the best in that person? It could be a person who will be just taking up a role, who's just guiding there to organize things. It's a very big role to organize with the team and to guide the team ahead. That person might be not doing any kind of bigger softwaring and coding and all of this, but that person is very important in your team. So as a team, it's a team. It's not an individual. When it comes to a company, everybody matters. Be it a person who is there to make sure that your place is clean is also a very, very important person. Be it a person who makes sure that everybody is coming to the office on time and leaving the office on time. That person is also very important in their life. So it's absolutely every person in the employment sector, especially in the office sector, everybody is important. That's when we come into picture. Be you an entrepreneur or be you a company owner, be you a CEO. Also, at some point of time, you will really need a life coach like this, who will build in a luxury in your life, who will build in everything that is going to be very creatively adding up to your life. That is scale up your progress, scale up your mental status, and scale up your profit. And yes, by the time you get the profit, you will become a more employment, more creative employment.
This is absolutely perfect because here in WeDo we have a lot of solo entrepreneurs, we have a lot of entrepreneurs, those who have team, and maybe they are looking for something to fix their team. Every time we don't have a solution from inside, it's like I have always heard it from my family. My family is like I have a background of my grandfather being an entrepreneur, being into a manufacturing company. It's also in an art background. So he also added one thing: when it comes to solving a problem, he would make sure that he brainstorm with a person who is seeing the problem outside the box. So he always said, if you have someone who is looking to your problem outside of your box, you will get the answers correctly, and you will be able to have a different perspective to your problems and to your solution as well. I think this applies to a life coach as well, because being an entrepreneur, being a personal, like if I'm stuck in my professional personal life, it is Very important that I look to my problems in a other perspective. um Manashweta,
Yes,
yes, you
I
can
can.
hear me, right?
You
Yes,
can
so
go.
this is how life coach plays a role in every person's life, where when you are stuck into a problem and you want to get out of that problem, taking in consideration you have someone to help you to figure out what exactly is the problem and to find solution for it. And it's very important, I have learned it in a very hard way, you need a third person to understand your problem and to solve it. Maybe when we are thinking we have a problem, this is the problem what we would be thinking, but exactly when we find the root cause of the problem, that is something else. There I think so the life coach plays an important role to find out the root cause. I would really, I am understanding, Manashweta, that the scenarios which you have been in, like the case studies which you have been in, can you share one such case scenario where you, the person thought this was the problem, and you being a life coach, you ended up putting it in a frame that he understands that exactly this was not a problem, this is the root cause. Do you have something to share with us in that way?
Sure, I would like to take a recent case study that I had it. So there is a student who always scores really very high in the examination. So the child is studying in class 12 and she observes that every time she talks herself in the class. So according to us, she must be the happiest person in the whole wide world, right? And the parents are very proud, the teachers are very proud. But she has come to me and she told me very simple word, I'm not happy. So I was like, that should be something that is literally troubling her. So she really scores very high. So she is expected to be the school topper, and even it could be a state topper in future, and a district topper too. So and why is she not happy? So that's when I worked with her, I really understood the challenges that she is taking up to herself. She's adding to the burden. She's carrying a very big bag that everybody wants her to be perfect. That's a very difficult thing for her. So when she just walks on the corridor and she just walks to get in a good breathing time for her, any teacher walks in, yeah, why are you standing here? It's time for your preparation. Go and prepare. You're wasting your time just by standing here. And if you see another teacher say, you are the best student. You have to utilize every second of your life in preparation for your main examination. And when she comes back home, she sees that she would have spent 2 to 3 hours of continuous study. And later, when she just comes out in the to the front room, called the hall, just sit and relax, just sit down on the sofa, drink some water in a happy and relaxing way. Immediately her parents come in. No, 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 don't waste your time sitting here. Go sit with the book. Sit with the book, Kyle, prepare. And every time you see that she is scoring good. So now she has done something, she scores good. And when they get the mark, and they don't even give the credit to her. This is why I told you, see, you got a very good marks. Just because I always tell you to prepare every time, not waste your time, you are getting all these scores. So we have understood she is happy to get scores, but if you leave it in her own way also, she can actually excel very good. So she knows it is her duty and it is her aspiration to get really high score. But adding to her aspiration, she gets a lot of baggages to carry, that she is not allowed to breathe, she's not allowed to sit for a moment and relax. So she is educationally level, she is very high, but the mental state of mind is going down literally. She's not happy. And also one more thing she adds on it, that she feels literally worried. You know what, when I go and try to add some my friends circle, they keep me away telling that you are a very studious student. Okay, and I know you're wasting time with us is going to be wasting your moment for your studies. So I'm losing very good friends in my life also. So she has on so many things. That is when I had to literally talk to her parents because their role is going to be very important from here. So we had a very nice conversation with the parents without her presence and helped them understand the challenges that she faced to and what she has written it down in the sheet of paper and how she has presented few of the artworks also when she was sitting with me. And she has clearly depicted, leave me the way I am. I am a self-inspiring person. I am a person who wants to really score high. I work myself for it. Stay there with me, guide me, motivate me, help me relax, help me breathe, help me drink some water peacefully, and let my friends also understand I am an aspiring person. If you take help from me, I even score more good. So that's the whole environment itself changed when I started interacting with them. And within not even 21 days, I would say, within 7 days, we sorted out everything. So the next 6 months of her
Wow.
into the learning journey was beautiful, and she also recorded first in her school. So that's the best thing that we could achieve it. In the recent
This
case,
is amazing, Manaswita. This is amazing. This is just like this question is of curiosity. Like, when should parents understand that it is a time for us to, treat a child as an individual, or it is a time for her to grow, and this is the time where I can take her to the life coach so that she improves in her own way. Where is that checkpoint a parent can have? Can you just tell us that what is the checkpoint if we have?
yes, you can see a student is withdrawing themselves from all the activities that the child used to. Say, for example, a child loves drawing. You see, the child is no more drawing or coloring. The child listens to the music. The child is no more listening to the music. The child loves the gathering with the people, the social environment. Now, the child is withdrawing herself from the crowd and is trying to be alone. So all these things are basic trigger for a parent to understand there is a need for a creative life coach who can creatively understand what are her challenges, help her through the process in a both psychological way and a creative way. And also, it is not only when you are involved, it's not only you, your thoughts as well as your environment. So as a person, as a parent, you should always understand you got a ZPD, zone of proximal displacement. So which means that you always hold your child. So at one point of time, you should slowly withdraw yourself, make them understand it is their own duty to take care of themselves. It is their own duty to understand that they have to succeed well in their life. To succeed well, if that is a mark that is going to process them to help to the next step of their career launch, they have to work according to that. Who have come to me, they told, I think my part, I think I will score good, but not very good like 99% is not my task. Accept it. It must be some other task the child will be looking for. For say, for example, I'm an educator and a creative life coach. And I am a person who will score from 80 to 85, 90. Okay. If you ask me to score that 99, imagine it's going to be a lot of pressure on me. Yes, so my creativity involves to observe a lot of surrounding things, learn a lot, read a lot of books, acquire a lot of knowledge from that, help people understand, look at the morphology and the physiology and anatomy of a person to understand the changes that's happening in a person. If you ask me to sit and learn about the history, about the World War, about those things, I might be not interested to be frank. So it's about the interest and the driving force that takes in. So at one point of time, you have to understand the child has their own wish, they have their own curiosity. When you understand that when you are going to take your hobby as your work, it is going to be always pleasure. And it is again not for everybody. Some people would like to be a part of the team always, to be a part of the employment always. That's a different sector. And again, another sector we take it like being an entrepreneur. So, wherein your driving force should be your own personal, what do you say, driving only. It's not from the external thing. If it's from external, it becomes boring at one point of time. You know, resilience is
Exactly.
very important. Driving in yourself, it should be your hobby. It should be something that you like to do on an everyday basis. So I'm sitting with something, a note like this. You see, I keep coloring, I keep drawing, I keep writing, and I keep jotting something that comes to my mind as I read something because I love it. If you give me the whole day to sit with it without disturbing, I keep to do it. There is no problem for me. So it's because I might. It's something that drives me here. It's same like you, like Swati also would. So
it's
it's something that
it's
so something that is which is really driving in. If you start working on it, there is no some nothing called as boring in that category. It's very
It's like
interesting.
when you choose your profession, which is your passion, then your every day is glamorous, amazing days, which you will always spend. And you will spring out from your bed every day with the same enthusiasm to do something. And you always have something planned, you have always something new to do, and there is always an excitement. Being an entrepreneur is like when we choose to be an entrepreneur, that is exactly what we do. That is, we choose our passion to be our profession. That is the reason every entrepreneur has a big smile on their faces. And I don't say like those who are employees, they don't have it. That is also their choice, that is also their passion, that what they follow. But the underlining is making your passion your profession makes it bit easy for us to live our professional and personal life. Manaswita, I would love to know, like, how did you get connect with WeDo? How was your first encounter to WeDo, and how long you have been with WeDo? What is that adding you to be there with the WeDo from a long time, or whatever you have been there with WeDo? I would love to know your experience and first encounter with WeDo.
Perfect. This is almost, you say that half the year. Okay, so almost this is the sixth month which I am stepping into the video. My encounter with video was a launch or event that we had it in Hyderabad. So that is when I started connecting with Vidu. After coming in there, I could see a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs. I was thinking I have so many things to learn from them. Okay, so I have so many things to give them to. So that is when I thought it's the right time to step into a platform where women connect each other, women empower each other, women appreciate each other to grow together. That's awesome. So that is when I entered. So I kept on giving something what I have, and I kept on taking something what I needed from the community. So with the people I meet, with the women I meet, every discussion, every conversation used to say, I would rather say every word is so empowering with them. So we have understood women has a very simple agenda. Never give up policy whatsoever comes to their life. So that is something that has literally driving me everything. I feel literally very, very enthusiastic when I talk to anybody in the video chapter, be it a Coimbatore chapter people or be it any chapter people, they literally try to help me, save me to say like, okay, whatever I'm into right now is appropriate, it's perfect. And coming into video was a very good option for me, and I would literally driving all women entrepreneurs to take in this opportunity to be a part of the team where women empower each other. You can see a lot of collaboration taking part in WeDo and see how much you can collaborate, make a new product out of it. And recently, I, being a creative life coach, I associated with another happiness coach, and we had a wonderful event that was happening online. We are looking forward for a few other collaborative activity. We could see a small step ahead is as I already measured. Life coaching is very, very new to India, and we are going to be there in everybody's name, and especially FFA Creative Life Coaching is going to be there in everybody's mind because here mind wellness is a luxury and it is not only a need, it's a luxury in everybody's walk of life. So I will really recommend we do to all the women entrepreneurs down there. Give it a go. Take up step by step, process it, see what you can give it to the community, and slowly community will start giving it back to you. You will never know when you get the bigger bonds you saw this. You'll never know when you completely start melting it, and you will start yourself in the ocean where people really come back to you to take your service to the better level. So that's how I recommend we do. And we Swati, being a president, I know how much of experience you have it in your chapter. So really appreciate you take it ahead for greater initiative like connecting with people in a Coimbatore, a person with me like a creative life coach, and helping people understand what is creative life coaching and how FFA Luxurious Brand is going to help each other in their life in the process of growth and management and the creative living.
Yes, I would like to add to this, like we do are just not a platform where women come and network and collaborate. We are here to support each other and grow together. It's not about just we do promotes collaboration and networking meets. We also provide trainings. We also provide business consulting to all the entrepreneurs where you are stuck and you need to come out from your dream, what you have plotted to become a successful, a practical person in life. We do provide, where we say we do provide everything what an entrepreneurs need, from your dream to building it to a strategical business plan and execute it properly. So I am really happy to be in WeDo, and we all of them are happy to be in WeDo. We have beautiful mentor with us, Miss Kadambari, who is always there to support us, to understand and to explain, even if you have a smallest doubt as an entrepreneur, as in business, where we learn more about business strategies, marketing, and a lot more. So we really thank you to WeDo and really appreciate the way we are breaking the myth where we say it's difficult for women to support a woman. Here we break that myth and say, come to we do witness how we support woman to woman support, entrepreneur to entrepreneur support in a such a level that we execute collaboration where we expand our business in, not in terms of sales but also in terms of geographical region. Like me being in Pune is collaborating someone in Chennai, someone in Hyderabad. That is a real expansion. Even if it is virtually, it is an expansion. And as you rightly say, every small progress matter, every step matter. Yes, here what we learn. And this is Swati Mudiganti, director of Chashmi Styles Private Limited, president of WeDo Pune, signing off. Thank you, Manasweta, for such a wonderful session where we understood how you as a life coach are being a person who brings us out from the problem and understand the problem to achieve what we are trying to get out of your our dreams and think practically and execute in right way. We are looking forward for more such wonderful events and sessions coming up. Thank you, Manasweta, for being here, being patient, and the lovely audience, those who are witnessing this live. Get to your real strategic plan and be there. Love your entrepreneurship. And this is Swati saying goodbye. Thank you, Manasweta. We all signing off. Good night. Take care. Bye, wonderful ladies and everyone there. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Swati, for connecting. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.